then the last type of inspection is a structural observation. So this is something that you will do typically if you're designing a new building. So this is an observation performed by the engineer or the architect for conformance to the approved construction document. So that's your CD set that you're submitting to the city. And yeah, so and then the city will approve it, and then that goes out to the field, and that's what they're using to do their construction. And then while they're doing their construction, you as the registered design professional can go out and like observe the work that they're doing, and if it's not in conformance, you can let them know. If it is in conformance, that's great. So you don't always have to write a report for these. It's more of a common courtesy to write a report for these, but it's not required. There are reporting requirements for special inspections, and those reporting requirements are from 1704 in the IBC. But structural observations are not necessarily required to have a report, but they are required to be done in structures in seismic design categories D, E, or F with at least one of the following risk categories, following categories. So if it's a risk category 3 or 4 building, so that's basically emergency facilities or buildings of high occupancy. If the height of the structure is over 75 feet above the base, and remember that base is typically going to be referred to as the grade plane. The structure is considered seismic design category E, is risk category 1 or 2, and is over 2 stories in height. So I think a lot of Los Angeles and the Bay Area are both seismic design category E. So that's kind of where you'll see that. So notice that the occupancy category is reduced in that situation, and so is that height limit. So seismic design category E, you have to be particularly wary of your risk category and height. And then also, these are just kind of, if it's designated by the registered design professional responsible for design, and when required by a building official. So some of the buildings that I used to design were risk category 2. They were only 40 stories. They were 40 feet tall. They were in seismic design category D, so technically it's not required, but the design professional in responsible charge for those projects chose to go out and look at the work being done to make sure it was in conformance with the approved construction documents, because remember that design professional in responsible charge is liable for any errors. So it's very common to go out and do a structural observation even when it's not required. So for your knowledge for the test, it's really the top 3 bullet points. That's when it's required. But there are 2 other conditions of kind of like when it's wanted by the engineer in responsible charge or the building official. So there's always going to be those exceptions.